So let's talk about lowest common multiple, what it actually is, how we find it, and also a neat little trick that we can use to help us find it if we're struggling to work out what it actually is. So lowest common multiples. Lowest common multiples are essentially when we've got two separate numbers, what is a third number that divides perfectly by both the original numbers that we have. Now, a better way that I like to think of it is essentially we've got the numbers in front of me 3 and 5. I want to know when do my 3 times tables match my 5 times tables. So for example, if I look at 1 times 3, that's 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 3s are 9. 12, 15, 18, so on and so forth. All right, I want to know when does this match with my 5 times tables. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, so on and so forth. All right, and we can see here that, well, it matches at 15. All right, matches here, it matches here. So we can see that it has a common multiple of 15. Now, if I extend the 3 times tables just a little bit further, all right, so let's just quickly erase my triple dots. We'll actually see another time that it does match. So we've got 21, 24, 27, and then it matches again at 30. So we actually have another common multiple at 30. However, when we're looking at common multiples, when we want the lowest common multiple, we want the smallest number that both of our original values will have a common multiple of. So in this case, the lowest common multiple is 15. All right, so we can say our lowest common multiple here between our two numbers is equal to 15. Now, you might sit here and go, well, how can we actually find the lowest common multiple? Now, a common method that I see people try to initially use, and I find that this is a bit of a misconception, is they say, well, let's just multiply the original 2 numbers together, the 3 and the 5. Now, this is true that it will find a multiple that exists between 3 and 5, and sometimes it'll be the lowest common multiple, but it won't always be. So in this case, this happens to be 3 times 5 is 15. 15 happens to be the smallest number that both of these do divide into, and that's our lowest common multiple. However, if we took the numbers 4 and 6 and we applied that kind of little trick that some people kind of think of, that 4 times 6, it would suggest that the lowest common multiple between these two numbers is 24. However, I'll put it out there that both of these numbers can also divide into 12. Okay, because 12 divides by 4 3 times, 12 divides by 6 twice. Okay, and if we were to list out all the multiplications of 4 and all the multiplications of 6, we would have identified that. However, listing out all the multiplications, especially when we start dealing with really, really large numbers, is a truly inefficient way to try and work out the lowest common multiple. So if we can't just instantly think of what the lowest common multiple actually is there a way that we can use that will help us find it? And we come back to our factor trees to do so. So if we look at our two numbers here, so our 4 and our 6, we can break them down into our factor trees. So 4 can be broken down into 2 times 2, all right? So 4 is equal to 2 times 2. Our 6 can divide by 2 exactly 3 times. So 6 can be written as 2 times 3. And what we want to do with these prime factors is we want to list them and match them up wherever we can. So this 4 is 2 times 2. This 6 is 2 times 3. So I'm going to write the 2 underneath each other. We want to match as many of them as we can. We can only match the 2's up here. If we had more to match, we would. Okay, but what we do here now is we go, well, our lowest common multiple will actually be this 2 times this 2 times this 3. Okay, so the result, we'll just go here, lowest common multiple is equal to, all right, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. All right, and you can see here that did find the lowest number that both of these do divide into. So it's a neat little trick that we can use if you're really struggling to find the lowest common multiple. But one method is to, like I said, just list them all out, list the multiples out until you find a common one between them. The other one is to break it down into its prime factors, list them and try and match all the prime factors out together, and then multiply the result, essentially. All right, so it's a neat little trick that you can use. One thing I do want to stress, though, is don't think, and it's just a common thing that I see, a misconception I see, don't think you can just multiply the two numbers that you have together all the time and it'll find the lowest number that it will divide into. All right, it will find a common multiple. It won't always be the lowest. Okay?